suddenly, and we'd get them a chair, we'd put the screen up around them wherever they were, just so people weren't ogling them while they felt better, because, like, again, they don't mean any harm, but it could be quite an embarrassing situation if you're going into a store and you suddenly feel faint. Like, you don't want people staring at you. But we weren't the only business in the area that did this. I would expect most retail businesses to have that kind of precaution. Yeah, and a lot of the time people just want to make sure the person's okay. They're not trying to hurt anyone or be rude or anything. It's just, it has like a negative effect. Two of my friends had accidents while on scooters. One had a big cut and like a gush in the other. And I'm not even half a mile, cleaned him up, called an ambulance, telling him he bonked his head on the kitchen counter. I wasn't there. 2 weeks. Yeah, don't drive in drunk general. Like, I don't think it matters. Don't drive a hacking bicycle drunk. Like, just literally not when you're drunk. Do not, because you put yourself in danger, you put everyone else in danger. Just, if you're drunk, walk. Or get a lift, get an Uber. Uber is everywhere. Everyone see what retail's like at least once. A lot of us would say the same thing. I think it is nice if you don't ever have to work retail. Like, that's a good position to be in. And I envy that position. I think that's really nice. But if you're in a position where you've never had to work retail, I think coming in with a little bit of compassion, like understanding that the people that are working in retail are often multi-talented people. Like, they're not idiots that couldn't do anything else. And just treating them like human beings, it's like a very small thing. And a lot of people did. The majority of customers do. Like, they're very, very sweet. They just want a little bit of assistance. They want a bra fit. If they can't have one because they haven't booked, like, they're normally pretty good. But it's just the odd ones. The odd ones. Ah, dear. I'm well. I'm glad. I'm okay. I'm recovering from bronchitis, but I'm actually doing a lot better than I was. I'm still getting a bit puffed out talking, but other than that, it's good. People ogling actually hurts more because it's distressing. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like they don't mean any harm because they just want to make sure the person's okay. So it's like, I'm not upset at them. It's just, it's actually, yeah. Don't worry. I'd say the best you could do is if a member of staff isn't aware and like someone you're with is feeling quite unwell, like just letting a member of staff know. Like, hey, I'm with my friend. Like, we had it once where someone, I don't know what it's called, but it's something to do with diabetes, where they had been drinking a lot of alcohol, and then they kind of got into a state where they were just consistently throwing up and shitting, like they couldn't stop, and like but like to a point where like it was getting quite dangerous. I don't remember necessarily what that's called, but their friends came up to the co-workers and were like, hey, my friend's in this bathroom over here, she's diabetic, and we'd been drinking a little bit and she said it was fine, but now she's consistently vomiting and shitting and we're quite worried and we don't know what to do. And like, that is the best you can do in that situation. If you've not called someone yourself, so that we can call an ambulance, get medical professionals out there, and then also cordon off the area so that other people aren't going in while she's in that state. There are other bathrooms, but just making sure there's a member of staff being like, hey, we have a medical emergency happening in the bathrooms right now. Here are the nearest bathrooms, and making sure people go elsewhere. Again, I believe the woman was probably okay. I think she needed some help, but like, she was able to like walk out with the ambulance, so I think she'd probably be okay. I don't know enough about diabetes to be quite honest to know exactly what was happening. I just know that something had happened, and that we had to make sure people weren't going into the bathrooms, because at the time that's all you're told, you know. Like, you know, someone's having a medical emergency in the bathrooms, the ambulance has been contacted, stay here and redirect customers. Okay, I can do that. Those are only real crashes I've witnessed. It's scary. It's very scary. Also, if you drive a car, please be bike aware. Also, because, listen, I come from a family of people that ride motorbikes, and none of the crashes were their fault. None of them were drunk. They were just driving to work, and people will pull out in front of them, and people will not check, and like, or they'll overtake into them, and it's like, bikes exist on the road. Please don't hit people on bikes. Because I feel like a lot of the time when bikers do get into accidents, it's literally not their fault. They have right of way and people just don't see them, or people back into them, and it's... Gastroparesis? Maybe? I don't think I even know what the word is, to be honest.